Today, I'm going to show you how you can create any low poly animal in Blender. Super simple, super easy, beginner friendly in this tutorial. Let's get to it. So here I am in Blender. I'm using version 3.3.1 and I got my screencast keys in the bottom left so we can see what I click and type. So click on the default cube, X to delete, and there we go. And now we're going to press number 1 on our keyboard, and if you don't have that setting, simply go over here, go to the -Y. So just click until you see -Y, and that gives you the front facing view. And now we're going to add in a reference image. So Shift A and go over to image and reference, and then simply choose your image. So first off, I will upload the image, and then I'll show you exactly how to get one in case you have no reference image. So here I went ahead and added my reference image. So let me first off show you how to get one in case you have no idea. And there's a lot of websites. I like to use Pixabay, and these are royalty free, as you can see. And basically what you need to do is type in your image you want. So I just typed in line for this example, and go over to images and then switch it over to illustrations. Also vector graphics might be an option, and pretty much go here and click it. And then depending on the quality, it may make you log in, but typically you can just go to free download and just choose the dimensions. Now, if you use SVG, typically they make you like sign up email. It's free, but that's just another thing. And then simply download it, fill out the little caption, then you're pretty much good to go. So again, this is just for this example, but there's other websites you can go ahead. This one's free to use, and this is where I got mine. So now let's go ahead and do GZ, and let's put like the feet right about here. And now depending on your animal, for example, if this one, the legs are bent and he's essentially in like a walking pose, but I'm gonna make him as if they're both all just laying down, right? So again, even though the exact reference isn't perfect, you can always tweak your design to however you want. But for the base template, it's pretty good right here. So feet, I like it where it's essentially like on this red line, and then I can move over to the y-axis with the green one, then GY, move it like right there, and then press back to 1, and now we have this. And I want to make sure I cannot click this to where it messes up my design. So click over here, little funnel filter option, click on this little arrow, and now we have these arrows. So now if I select it, it basically disables it to where I can't do anything. So if you ever need to fix it again, go back, reselect it, and then move your picture back. So press 1 here, and now we're gonna go ahead and start modeling this. And fairly simple, almost any animal you can do the basics with this method. There's plenty of different ways, but this is the one I'll show you for today. Shift A, and we're gonna go to mesh, and I wanna do a circle. Now, before we fix anything, you'll notice the circle is perfect, and we don't want that. I'm going to go with 8 vertices, just like this. And just note, the minute you click out of the circle, this little window disappears. So if you have to change it again, you have to delete the circle, redo this over. So basically, I just want perfectly 8. Now I'm gonna go RX90. So I rotate it first on the x-axis, and then I'm gonna go RZ90. And now we have it like this. And then I'm going to tab into edit mode, select these 3 on this left side, X, delete the vertices, and then go over to my modifier and click on the mirror modifier. Make sure we have clipping and the x-axis. So now anything we do on this side will mirror on the left side. So now I can press 1, and then basically let's tab back in object mode, GZ it up, and make it like right about here. And what's a cool trick is we could go like this and drag this into 2 windows. I can go ahead and select this -X. This gives us the front view. And now if I go to this right side, just select it here, I can scale it, and we can see we have it right about here. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it easier. And I'm in object mode currently, and just about like right there. So now let's actually scroll over this by using your laptop or even your mouse. Just basically go drag it over and then select this option, the see-through one right here. And now we can select this, tab in edit mode, A to select everything, E to extrude it, and now this should give us a little nice extrusion. So I'm just gonna go right about here where it starts to curve out, and then we can always adjust this later. Then I'm gonna press E to extrude it again and bring it over right about here, and then S to scale it, go like right there, and then E to extrude it again, probably about right here in the middle of this leg, and then E to extrude it again, and then we can scale this down a little bit. And now we can fix this later, but now let's continue, go back on this side. So I'll just select it all, And then E to extrude, I'll go right about to where the arm is. S, and then drag down a little bit to make it wider. And then let's E to extrude it again. This would be like the arm area up to about here. S to scale it up even more. And then E to extrude it again, right about here. Scale it a little bit in. Because the hairs, I'm going to make it like another extruded part, so it doesn't have to be as thick as it currently shows. And then E to extrude it again. Maybe like right here. Scale it down. G, move it up a little bit. E to extrude it up to like right about to where the chin is. Scale it down. And then G, move it right about here. And this is going to be fairly low poly, so if you're going to make this much more detailed, obviously you might have to add more loop cuts and more details. But let's go again. Let's extrude it. Let's go like right about, let's go like right here. For like the eye option, scale it down a little bit. G, bring it down here. E, extrude again. And then basically I'll extrude this even more. And then E for the nose, scale it down a little bit more. And maybe move it up like that. And you can see here, currently this is what we got so far. Nothing crazy, but we'll adjust this in a second. So first thing I want to do is adjust the backside. So let's select this parts. And one, we can actually go and we could S scale on the Y to make it a little more circular if you wanted to, because right now it's kind of like a oval shape. And I can E to extrude and S to scale it inwards like this. And then SY to scale it even more. And then I can do like a GY to move it out, or G actually, X to move it out like here. And then I can do another extrude, S to scale it inwards, and then SY to move it in. And if you want to make it like as circularly possible as we can, just like that, and then I can scale it on the Z a little bit. And then even this little vertex, I can move it GY and make it a little more circular. And basically, if you really want to make this perfectly circular, there's an add-on. Go to Edit, Preferences, and should be Extra Objects. And then basically you can select here and right-click and basically Loop Tools and circle this. Actually, that is Loop Tools, my bad. What am I saying? Not Extra Object. Make sure you have Loop Tools in. Mesh Loop Tools right there. And then technically it's not perfect because we don't have enough vertices, but basically or loop cuts. But now, I mean, I like it to where it's at, so I can do GX a little bit out, press 1 again, and then now we can just extrude it and then rotate it like that, scale it in a little bit, and then G, move it up about here, and then let's see, rotate it a little bit straighter down, and then E, extrude it down. And then pretty much this is the tail. So we can scale that in. E, keep extruding it, and pretty much just make the tail parts however you want to. And if your animal doesn't have a tail, then I mean, you don't have to do this. But at least for the basic concept, this is how I have it. And then I'll just do a little more extruding here, and then one more, scale it in. And for the simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna press F to close off this face and just scale it a little bit. So again, if you want to make it to where it's like not triangles and stuff, feel free. That way we can have loop cuts, but we're keeping it simple. And now you can see we got this going on right here. And now let me just say this really quick. File, save as, or Command S or Control S. And now what we need to do is make the legs. So here's one way to do this. I'm going to face select, and I want to have 4 faces. That way I can actually make it somewhat adjusting in the size. Because if I just did like one little rectangle, it's going to be hard to do what I want to make the design wise. So here, what we can do is I can just extrude it like this. And now you can see we have some sort of, like if I go from this angle, you can see it's now like not perfectly straight, but it's kind of sticking out. And then, now I can go back to 1, E to extrude it like that, scale it down now, and then G to move it over. And I can switch over to these guys. And notice right now there's an issue with it, is that it's essentially, it's touching. So if I do Command Z again, Command Z and Command Z, let's take off clipping and then let's extrude it, and there we go. Now we have that separation. So basically you want to remove clipping if you want that separation to go away. And now we can go back here, press 1, scale it down. G, move it about like right here. And then technically I could do SZ1 or SZ0, my bad, to make it flat. And then now we have like this flat part, which you can see over here. And then I can just scale it to whatever I like, and then extrude it down here. Scale this bad boy down. E over here, I'll go about this joint. Scale it down here. And then E, I'm going to G, move it over here. Rotate it a little bit. Scale it in. E to extrude again, and then G, like right about here. Rotate it upward somewhat. That way I can make the feet and move it like this. And like I was saying earlier, I was telling you how essentially the picture shows this leg even though I have both like this. And again, that's just preference. But now if you wanted to fix these feet, you could go like on the edge select and just select it like here and here. Let me see. Here and here, and then just these top ones, if I can get it, there we go. Then double G it down a little bit. And you're probably like, what about these random, so let me take this out, this x-ray. You're like, what about this random line? So what I could do is select most of this by basically, I'll select the whole thing. What I want to do is just select it on the leg part. So I can go here, let's go, yeah, even here. And basically hold shift, select it all. And then pretty much double G, and then that shifts it over to the middle, much nicer. And then I could just scale this out if I really wanted to. Or I could just press G and move it up a little bit. And again, depending on what part you want, and even like back here, I don't like where it's like it's so close to this edge part. So let me just select these lines, and even this one, double G over here. I can do a G, X, and make it like more rounded. And there you can go and get, super fancy with that, even on the foot. It's up to you, but for the most, I'm keeping it like this for now. And now we can do the front leg, and I'll just do the this part right here. And basically, go back to X-ray. Tell me I don't even need to go back to X-ray. I already have it like this. So I'll just change this view here. Keep it on the solid view, go and select these four here, and basically extrude it out. There we go. Scale it in a little bit. Actually, I do need the x-ray to see where I'm at. And let's move it over here, and then extrude it out again. Scale it down even more. SZ0 to bring it like fully flat, and bring it down like this. And I want to see how it looks right now. And then technically if you wanted to just make it straight down, you could, which go like this, looks like that. Looks kind of crazy from this angle. And then pretty much, let's see, E, I'm just gonna freestyle this one since the reference image isn't like the perfect position I want it to be. But you can just see like a way to go about it. And even I can let me select these again. Only these bottom faces, and technically I'm gonna go back here, and let's just extrude it along this front face here, and extrude here, G, and then go back to edge select. And now the reason I have the four faces now, I can like go in here and change these up. So double G, scale it in a little bit, and then let's take off this x-ray mode real quick, and then I can select, basically shift select these, move them into the middle more. Double G like that. G, X to move it, make it more rounded. And then these are like way too thick. So let's select this edge select loop. Go like right here. Scale it in. Same here. Scale this bad boy in here. Might even add another loop cut here, scale that out a little bit, yeah, like that. And then you can select these. Just select, yeah, make sure just select only those, nothing else. GX, move it up a little bit. And then, if you want to select these two, double G, G down, up to you. Again, preference is up to you, but keep it. And the one thing I want to make is this, move this forward a little bit. There we go. So its front leg looks a little bit stronger, but that's okay. That's okay. So even though we don't have the reference image, it's still, this is what we got going on. And then if you wanted to like move these out more so it's like not as close, and same with these, double G 4. Again, it's all up to you. Keep it like that for now. And then I want to make the face. So go here, go to vertices mode, option select, or alt select these, and then we can do G and this on the y-axis. Actually no, S and y-axis, but we need clipping. So SY, scroll this bad boy in a little bit more, and looks like this piece, we need to go to the -X here. This one vertex is not perfectly straight, so now I can option select or alt select, right click, circle. And technically it's not really a, how to say it, it's not really a circle, but we can go here and basically we can just face it like this to make it, you know, life easy. But if you wanted to play the mirror modifier and then, you know, make this where you make it into fours and triangles, that's, feel free to do that. But now I just want to make it like a G and move it a little bit, SZ to scale on the Z axis, and then pretty much this is what we have so far right here. And now what I want to do is fix up some details. So like even here, like this piece, G, and then let me see, G, move it out like here. And then pretty much we need to make the eyes first. So here, go to see-through view. I'll probably go like right here. Go back to see-through, inset, I by pressing I, and then G, move it up, and then scale it up to whatever you need. And I'll keep that as like the eye right there. And then I want the ears, which I need to click, and let's see, yeah, let's do like right here. And let's do inset again here, except I'll move it over, scale it down, and then extrude it up. So 1, 2, and again, this is kind of like a dog ears. I'm freestyling this right now, but feel free to, you know, tweak this up. But this is just a concept I'm doing here. Add maybe another loop cut by adding Command R, Control R, scale it up like that. And then for the actual like this first stuff, most animals, I mean, if they're just one color, you'd be fine. But basically, we can go, I'll say real quick, go to the material select now. And an easy way is to first off, to select everything, and then add the base color, which will be our yellow. So this would just be like the yellow. And let's see how this looks right now. You know, it is what it is. And then we can add plus now. For this eye, I can make this into a black color. So just go here and then hit assign. And it looks like that. And then for the nose, it's pretty much the same black color here. And then for this bottom mouth, I could probably even, I could just extrude these pieces right here. So Alt E along normals and just do like that real quick. Little tiny piece just like that. And then I can just make that into a white right here. And then if you wanted to make this part, we can edge select these, double G to move it down, and then I can face select this part so that it's kind of like black like in the image. Assign here. And then for the tail, let's do the tail first. Assign here. Let's make sure we got every color. Assign there. And then basically here, assign. And then last thing would be this like covering part. So pretty much what I did was I looked at what is being covered. So basically, go back here. Here, 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 here. All over here. And if you go back to the material select, you can kind of see pretty much what's being covered with the hair. And like even here, 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 and even a little bit here, but we could actually we could fix that. We could add loop cuts maybe if you wanted to, but let's just see. That's probably not gonna work there. So let's do, actually no, Command Z. Let's do Option E or Alt D, face along normals, shoot it outwards, just like that. See how that looks? Probably scale it down a little bit. And then we can go here, add material, and then even make sure we select these edge pieces over here, just like that, and like this right here, and just go back to the black and assign it. And then now we got sort of like this low poly design right here. So now if you don't like these being too pointy, you could always, you know, double G to move it up, even here like this, double G moves it up like that. And again, you can tweak it up to whatever you like to, and then even like right here, if you want to add some more loop cuts along the face, and then add like a add some of it here, feel free, but I'm just gonna Command Z, keep that simple for now. And now basically go over to our lighting, and we can pretty much add in a plane just like this, scale it up, get rid of our photo, bring this back, and then add in either an HDRI, which I can do right now really quick. So when I just add a little HDRI, so basically just quick lighting, and then I can scale this up. And then now we have our little animal we just created. So now if I just go here, change up the view, and then obviously you can change up the brightness and strength of this too to like 0.5, nothing too crazy. And also the lighting, if you don't like the colors and whatnot. But basically, this is how I made this simple model. Now if you want to see me rig and animate that, comment down below. But aside from that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.